And a good midday to you, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Looking at Tropical Storm Cristobal, and it looks like it's going to be taking a track a little bit to the west of the Mississippi Delta and the southern Louisiana coastline and bayous. And this will take a track and continue toward Lake Superior. We'll be checking that out shortly. For this VELCO weather hazards outlook, we're looking at impacts relatively low through this entire period. It looks like the impactful day will be Thursday, where there'll be a cold front pushing into a pretty warm and humid air mass, about precipitable water levels about 2 to 3 sigma standard deviation. And we could see some strong to locally severe thunderstorms during that day on Thursday. We'll start out with a cool, dry kind of air mass this Sunday, as a cold front had moved through and over the past 24 hours. That air mass will moderate gradually, and we'll see a warm front bring us some scattered shower activity. It looks like Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night. That'll set up a pretty hot day, warm to hot day, with elevated heat indices for Wednesday. That looks to be the warmest day coming. That may last a little bit into Thursday, ahead of a cold front that will then trigger those thunderstorms. Now, hydrologically, though, this is another dry stretch. We've had many throughout the spring and now into early summer. The best project weather days were the rest of today and lasting into the day on Monday. Exceptional solar irradiance expected on Monday. That'll be followed by showery conditions with that warm front along about Tuesday into Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night. And then that warm but drier weather working in on Wednesday with higher dew points and higher humidity. Another good project weather day appears to be on Friday once the cold front pushes on through on Thursday. And so Friday will set up an area of higher pressure building in and lasting into Saturday. Tropical Storm Cristobal is active with potential for another tropical cyclone that could develop east of Bermuda over the west central Atlantic. That'll be in the following days into next week without any mainland threats. Let's take a look at the European incrementals. The European model shows dry weather with an area of higher pressure that kind of ridges in from way up in northern Canada. That's going to be the main influence on our weather. This is a Tropical Storm Cristobal, and you'll see that it's pumping up kind of a big ridge of higher pressure. We have a pretty deep trough of low pressure that's worked in off the coast. That's associated with the showers and storms over the last couple of days. We're watching this. You can see where Cristobal goes, and we have a formation of a warm front along this sort of baroclinic zone, separating much colder weather to the north in Canada from more hot and humid weather to the south and west. This warm front will drag or kind of park over the region, and you'll see the precipitation kind of outline that. Now that'll set us up for basically on Tuesday into Tuesday night some scattered sprinkles or light rain showers. But Cristobal makes a track toward Lake Superior there, and its moisture becomes certainly extratropical. No issues in terms of its track toward us. It's really not going to be a problem. But what you can see here is the last frames here on the 06E European model. No real precipitation threat. This is so far through the end of Wednesday evening. Now, taking that a little bit further along here, you can see that we get into some shower and thunderstorm activity. This is valid Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And then that looks like a frontal boundary that tracks on through with probably the best chances for showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be strong to locally severe with some damaging winds and large hail. It's all speculation at this point, but it does look like a pretty good setup as we get into the afternoon hours on Thursday. And then by Thursday night, that exits out of the region. By Friday, we're back into another dry day. And curiously, a little bit of another drop down here with a colder regime coming in out of Canada, with some showers. This is a valid Saturday beyond the period. We get probably a pretty decent day on Saturday, and then late in the day it looks like we could see a round of showers, maybe some thunderstorm activity that would develop, looks like Saturday night, and then last into Sunday, and that looks like that's going to be parking over the region. So Sunday next weekend looks to be a little bit on the wet side. Here's the GFS schematic, GFS Canadian Ensemble. And what we're showing is the 3-hourly QPF. So pretty dry period here. And then once we get into Thursday, Wednesday night, Thursday, we're starting to see with the GFS and Canadian Ensemble some precipitation chances here. And then a drier period. And then as we get into next weekend, The way the total amount of QPF, it's pretty limited here. We're only talking basically under ½ inch of precip, and then later on in the weekend we start to make that climb. But these are continuing some not quite drought, but definitely dry spells, and all of this is cumulative. This is precipitable water, so you can see that this is today. This is the day tomorrow, Monday, and then 12Z, that would be Tuesday. We start to see a climb in precipitation with that warm front, and then by Wednesday we're into the higher precipitable waters, about 1.6, 1.8, and then a cold front comes charging through, and that's where the shower and thunderstorm activity will be. It drops out, we dry out again, and then we start to build that up over the next weekend. Weather Prediction Center's total QPF projection, about 1/4 inch around the Champlain Valley. This, take it with a grain of salt here, but we're not looking at anything major, so totals of around 1/2 inch. Temperature projection definitely shows Wednesday being the warmest day with that maximum temperature there. And dew point temperatures look like this. We also see a little bit of an uptick on Wednesday into Thursday when that cold front then charges through the region. Meteorological output statistics, we're about neutral here across the northeast United States, with colder weather up in Canada and a good portion of the west, and then warmer than normal temperatures staying a little bit to the south. A little bit of a different look. 3 days later, we start to see that little bit of a gain in temperature, around 6 degrees above normal, just privately for the northeast United States. How sweet. And current temperature anomalies across the northern hemisphere. You can see out west in California it's pretty chilly, also across a wide area of Canada. The only real warm-up is in the upper Midwest and Great Plains and down into parts of the southeast United States. Let's look at the sea surface temperature anomalies. And you can notice off the coast of New England, it's considerably chilled down, and a lot of colder water now, and you can see the Gulf Stream kind of working in. So these temperatures having cooled on down, and most recently a lot of storminess coming in, a lot of colder air coming across the portions of the western Atlantic. And we still have in the mean development region, though, above normal temperatures, and this is where tropical cyclones form. And it's pretty warm now off the coast of Africa, West Africa, and these will promote a string of tropical cyclones, and it's going to be a big year for the hurricane basin in the Atlantic. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.